was this one Halloween party I went to, and I fell into the fake blood, and everybody thought it was real blood. Everyone I interacted with after that point was like, "Oh my God, you're bleeding," and I was like, "No, I just tripped into the fake blood."
Welcome to the Kum and Giggle show, where laughter always flows, full of joy and good vibes. Let's banish all our woes. Stories and jokes to make you smile. Tune in and let's engage. Join us on this fun ride. Turn the page.
Hey everybody, this is Nikki Huntsman, and today on the Kum and Giggle podcast, I have a lovely local comedian to Colorado, Nina Davis.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going really well. I'm happy to have you on. So Nina's really, really funny, but she also has an obsession with squirrels like me. And she's always posting videos with them, and I love it.
I do. I call it nut time. I invite all the squirrels to my yard, and I give them peanuts. It's great.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Back in 2020, I bottle fed a baby squirrel and raised her, and I have all kinds of cute photos and videos because she fell out of her tree and they have to be fed every 2 hours and stuff. So I went to the store, I got puppy formula, and I raised her.
That's adorable.
It was cool. I'll have to show you some later.
I'd love to see the pictures. I found a squirrel, it was like a year ago, and I ended up taking it to a rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
But we spent one night together. It was very snuggly and cute. And
I was calling rehab centers and everybody was full, and she needed to be cared for because she didn't have her eyes open yet or fur yet.
Oh,
Like when she fell out and her mom did not come for her. Like I waited a few hours and watched to make sure no predators got her or anything. And yeah, her mom never came. So I brought her in, I put her on a heating pad, and I had to bottle feed her.
Oh, that's adorable, though.
It is. But yeah, I tried though. I called rehab places. Nobody could get her in at the time during 2020 with it being baby squirrel season. And I'm sure they got a lot of calls from people who were at home and noticing things they wouldn't typically notice.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. I bet that happened a lot during the pandemic.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, people just got more observant.
Yeah. So I have these lovely drinks from my sponsor, kind of. So Grisly Cosmic, I made friends with the owner of the company, and he used to write Invader Zim episodes.
No way.
And he started his own alcohol company.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he sent me free products to use for the podcast. I'm not getting paid for this or anything, but I do get the free products for me and my guests in exchange for promoting, and it's really good. It's a craft bourbon cola with 0 sugars, and it's only 6% alcohol, so it's not going to get you shit-faced. It's like having a beer, but it's bourbon.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
Dude, you're going to love it. And the cool thing about it also is so far, they are only distributing through Total Wine.
Oh.
And yeah, you can get them at Total Wine in Pasadena, California, and different areas in California. But other than that, you have to order it from the internet to have it shipped to you. Like you can get it in most states, but it's not in every liquor store. So this is a treat for us because it's straight from Cali. And I can't remember his artist's name, but the artist that does the artwork for this is from Austin, Texas.
I absolutely love this color scheme.
Isn't it beautiful?
The little monster guy. That makes me so
the little
happy.
alien, little Grisly cosmic dude.
This is delicious.
Isn't it great?
This is great.
It's my favorite.
What a plus. Wow.
It's so good. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. How did you get into comedy?
Wow. Okay. Well, I was a nanny for a long time. One of the families that I worked with gifted me improv classes for my birthday, and I took some improv classes, and I loved it. And I didn't do any theater when I was like in high school and such.
Oh, I was a theater kid. I was a nerd. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I actually lettered in theater.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't show up to school enough to even know that was an option.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I was a nerd. I was in like theater. I was on student news team, yearbook staff, and choir. And I was a Girl Scout until I was 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was an overachiever.
I was only a Girl Scout for 2 years, but then I danced. That was like the thing I did during
That's
during my
fun.
childhood. But yeah, oh my gosh.
I did a lot of weird things. I even played the accordion at one point.
The accordion?
Yeah, I was a Weird Al fan, and I wanted to play the accordion because of Weird Al, and my mom made me take lessons in order to have one.
Wait, I love this.
So I did it. There's photo albums and VHS tapes. I have not played since I was 12, but my mom still has some of my trophies, VHS tapes, and photos in the photo album. I played the accordion for 4 years. I used to go to Oktoberfest, old folks' homes, different things.
That is so freaking cool. I
It
love
was a
that.
really neat thing. I kind of wish I would have kept up with it, and I've thought about, like, if I ever have free time, maybe trying again
Yeah.
because it was cool. It was hard to get into it and stuff. It's not an easy instrument, but it was cool.
That's wild. I can't believe I'm talking to a former accordion player.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's probably one of the weirdest facts about me that most people wouldn't expect,
Yeah.
especially because it's not a very common thing.
It's like also one of the funniest instruments. Um, I was a competitive Irish step dancer throughout my childhood.
That is so unique. You don't
Yeah.
hear that often in Colorado.
Yeah.
Just like the
Yeah.
accordion thing, you don't hear it often.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, there is still a market for it because I was in a kids' accordion group. You know, there were other kids and there were Oktoberfests and things to compete in.
Yeah.
So it exists. It's a thing. It's very niche, but it's still a thing in Colorado.
I think it makes those niche communities like a little bit stronger. I've thought about getting back into dancing a little bit more, at least showing people, around the holidays and stuff too.
That'd be
I
fun.
think it could be kind of cool. But yeah, so I've always done some sort of like performance art sort of thing, but I missed
Yeah.
theater in high school because I missed a lot of high school. And then I took this improv class, and that brought me into like the theater world, and I started auditioning for things. And then I was part of the Madison Shakespeare Company for a little while. That was cool. And then I started doing stand up. And I started doing stand up specifically after being in an improv class. And our improv instructor, it was like a deep dive improv class, one of the extracurricular improv
That sounds
classes.
fun.
Yeah, it was
That'd be
super
such a
cool.
good time.
Like improv theory stuff, It's
Yeah. So
great.
you got to learn all the ins and outs.
Exactly. And one of the points that was made in the class is the differentiation between improv and stand up is how many people are on the stage with you sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And our instructor was explaining that, when you're doing a scene in improv, you've got your other people on the troupe that are there to support you. So if it
Yeah.
doesn't go well, it doesn't go well together. And if it goes well,
And
you
you get
go
to
well
feed off
together.
of each other's energy versus like being there solo, having to feed off the audience and then
You're in this
still
like
go with your thing.
group collaborative setting. And then she goes, and then stand up, you're on your fucking own. It's just you. And if you fail, you fail. And if you win, you win. And it's just you. And I was like, that sounds great. I would like to try that. Give me that. And then I went to an open mic, and that was almost 8 years ago now.
8 years.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
explains why you're like so on it though at everything that we go to because you nail it every show.
Thank you. Yeah. I've been doing it for a little while now. Which is
Yeah,
fun.
the longer you do it, the better you get. That's just how it goes over time. You develop it just like anything else. It's a craft.
Yeah. It's been really nice to watch the last couple of years, just to kind of find another layer of my own voice and the messaging that I want to put out there and how I want to present myself. It's been fun.
Yeah. I love your jokes. They're always so much fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you're a good comic and stuff. You're one of the ones that I always laugh at. It's like good.
Thank you.
It's not one of the shows where you get the silences and stuff because sometimes, comics that are still working on material or comics that have like different senses of humor, you don't always laugh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're the ones that knows the triggers though. You know which punchlines to hit and you have your comedic timing down.
Yeah. I feel like improv helped me a lot with the ability to read the room. And because I've been doing it for a while, at this point, I have a pretty good, plethora of jokes to fall back on. So if the room is weird, usually I've written something at some point that they will respond to.
Yeah, you
So
just got to
roll it out.
feel it out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good time. I love stand up. It's fantastic.
It's one of my favorite things. I wish I had more time to do it. It's hard to juggle it, like being self-employed and a single mom.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like I'm not out there as often as I would like to be, but when I do shows, I love it so much.
It's a lot of nights, like the
Yeah.
schedule of stand-up comedy. especially when you're trying to hit open mics, is
Yeah.
very bizarre.
Hitting mics and then doing paid shows, you're basically out every night of the week if you're seriously involved in it like you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of late nights, and it's a lot of explaining to people with 9 to 5s that I cannot meet with them at 10 a.m.
Yeah, because it's hard when you're out all night, especially because when you're at
Yeah.
comedy things, networking, sometimes you drink and other things, and then you're exhausted and you need to rest the next morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting. And what an interesting industry too, because so many serious conversations and like business conversations have been had in a dive bar.
Yeah, and it's incredible because you have so many projects that you plan, and you wouldn't expect business meetings to be happening at a bar, but it's like that with comedy and with adult
Oh,
and
sure.
other things too. I feel like entertainment industry in general, a lot of us are like, let's go get cocktails and talk about this, or let's light up a blunt and have
Yeah.
business
Yeah. The getting high.
discussions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably a more common one for me. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, getting a drink or smoking a joint, very
Yeah.
common in the entertainment industry.
Digging into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny because my parents are always like, "You're always out partying and at bars." I'm like, "Mom, I'm working. Dad, I'm working." And they don't understand. They think I'm just partying nonstop and just like, "Woo." But I'm
Yeah.
like, this is what I do to pay my bills because if I don't do this, I don't get gigs.
Yeah. This is
Kinda what you gotta
strategic
do.
partying. I feel like
Yeah.
Slurms McKenzie on Futurama sometimes, you know? I'm just like, I can't keep partying. But yeah.
It really is strategic partying, though. It's like you mix your business with your pleasure, and you have to find that fine line
Yeah.
because you can't overdo it with the partying. You
No.
can't get sloppy if you're working and stuff.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
bad look. And a lot of comedians do. You know what I mean? I think
I've had
everybody.
nights when I was first starting where I did, but I've gotten better about that. Now I don't drink if I'm doing a paid gig, and when I do mics and stuff, I try to drink after I go up instead of before.
Yeah.
But I did start off as being the person who had to drink before even going on for the open mics, and that's how I first like got past the nerves and developing my material and my cadence, and then I realized, okay, cool, I'm not nervous anymore. Let's try this sober,
Yeah.
and now I do it sober.
Wild. I had the opposite experience. I was like, if I'm a little bit drunk on stage, I'll get too weird. I'll forget what I'm doing. And so when I first started, I would bring my first drink on stage and start like midway through my set, or I
Okay.
would wait until after. And then I kind of got to a point, and I did this with weed too, where I was like, all right, I got to train with the weights on because God forbid I am too drunk at a show. Because it happened to me one time. It was a New Year's Eve show, and they added a ton of local comics to the lineup before I went up. I was traveling with a buddy who was headlining, and I was featuring. And they put on like an hour and a half more comedians than we were expecting.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
we were getting free drinks. It was New Year's Eve. So I completely misfired and ended up pretty hammered on stage that night.
Yeah.
And I walked away from that experience thinking, I gotta make sure I can be funny if I'm drunk on stage. I gotta make sure that I know how to do that. So then I started experimenting with drinking before and during being on stage. And now I feel like I've got a pretty good balance. I could do it
Yeah.
either way.
I can do like one drink before, but I've noticed if I do more than that, then there's been points where I stumble over words or I'll like forget a sentence or a line or I'll skip a joke if I drink too many things. If I'm 3 or 4 drinks in, it's like I'll still have like the energy and the vibe, and it does loosen me up in that way. There's pros and cons to it. It does that for me, but it also makes it to where sometimes
Sorry. Oh my
oh,
God.
you're
I
good.
totally.
I'll just forget a few things though, or I'll like mess up a little bit. I feel like it's not as on point or polished,
Yeah.
but it does help with the energy and like, woo, I'm happy. Let's party.
I get that though, the not being as polished. That's like a very common thing. And I think alcohol sometimes will make you more emotional. And a lot of comedians are writing jokes from a space of maybe processing pain. And so if you get too drunk, sometimes you get more emotional than you mean to, and you take it out on the crowd, and it feels
When I
weird.
get too drunk, I do get emotional. I've not had it happen at a comedy thing, and I'm hoping that never does. uh, but when I get emotional and sad, I'm that sad girl that's like drunk texting, I miss you.
Yeah.
I want attention.
When I started comedy, I was in Madison, Wisconsin, and the drinking culture was a lot more, prevalent there. Yeah, I had a couple. I was in my early 20s too, so I was like,
Yeah.
let's just get to know new layers of my own self here. And yeah, I had some pretty tearful nights.
We've all had those at some point or another.
Yeah.
I try not to get to that point, but I will say I have my nights.
Yeah. There was this one Halloween party I went to, and I fell into the fake blood, and everybody thought it was real blood. Everyone I interacted with after that point was like, "Oh my god, you're bleeding," and I was like, "No, I just tripped into the fake blood. I tripped on a spider web. It was
You tripped on a spider web.
I tripped on a fake spider web into some fake blood, like freaking Kramer, and then everyone thought I'd sustained an injury.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That sounds like it was an entertaining experience, though, to say the least.
So many interesting things have happened because it's like when you're doing stand up, you have like a community of people, and we're doing an incredibly vulnerable art form, right? Like we're
Yeah.
talking, and I think when you talk about like business meetings and stuff happening over like drinks and like drugs and all of that stuff, it's like
It creates a lot of intimate bonds.
yeah,
Friendships, relationships. It's kind of like high school.
yeah,
It can be tricky.
yeah, and triggering. So it's
Yeah, it's a heart and soul type of thing.
Yeah.
You bury yourself.
well, because we get on stage and we're like, this is what I think about this,
Mhm.
and it's
Our thoughts, our inner dialogue just coming to life. And oh, you want to hear the story about my life and all of the things I've been through?
yeah, yeah. Well, and people go on, and it's like we start crass. You know what I mean? Like when people
Mhm.
start comedy, it's like, okay, what are all the things that I want to joke about? What are all the things that I'm fixated on? And usually those are things that have hurt or confused me, or I've been told that I'm not supposed to talk about. So usually it starts out really sexual,
Yeah,
when
it
comedians are
does.
starting. They're like,
And vulgar and
Mhm.
to where you're not clean yet.
yeah, I would say like 90% of like open micers, people who go to an open mic who never do comedy after that open mic. This is like guy has a dare situation and he has to go do a set, right?
Yeah.
Is that someone that's going to tell a story about shitting their pants? For sure, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like it's a shit your pants story. It's shitting your pants and having sex. Those are the most common beginning stand up.
Yeah. If you look at like my first open mic, I definitely like shared it to my YouTube. I left it up even though it's not the best. But it was funny. I was going through a breakup thing around that time and being ghosted by a comic that I was involved with that I'm not going to say the name of. He's a Cali one. He's not here. But anyways, so when we were going through our thing and he wasn't talking to me, I got really shit faced and went to that open mic, and I didn't use his name or anything, but I was talking about our issues and making jokes and innuendos. I filmed it. Not only did I post it to YouTube, but I sent it to an open for him competition so that he had to watch me talking shit about him. Sent it straight to him.
Oh, that's good. That's
That was my first
diabolical.
open mic
I love that.
and my first time submitting for anything. And I did it just because I knew he'd have to watch it anyway
Wow.
when we weren't talking.
So is that like your entrance into stand up?
Yeah.
I love
That was my entrance.
Wow.
Fucked a comic, dated a comic, and when I was upset with him, submitted to his open for him competition.
As a comedian, I think it's fair. I think when a lot of people date or fuck us, they're like, yeah, I could do comedy.
I did it just because I wanted his attention. I was like, you want to try to ignore me? Try ignoring this. I don't like to be ignored.
Wait, how long ago was that?
So that part happened 2023 when I did my first open mic at 3 E's. So 2 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that person and I have been on and off for years, like never official, never serious, but on and off hooking up and communications.
Yeah.
And our most recent fight was April, and we haven't talked since then.
Okay.
But we've gone 4 or 5 months before fighting, and then all of a sudden I'll hear from him. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not blocked anywhere. He's just ignoring me.
Not blocked. Oh. That brought out something crazy in me just now.
I love that.
God. Not blocked. Do you think you could get blocked? Just kidding.
But yeah, so my introduction into it, literally, I just got into it because I dated somebody and then I tried it
Wow.
and then I liked it. And here I am a couple years later.
Have you noticed in the last couple of years of doing stand up that it has affected your relationships or love life at all? Like, has being a stand up comedian
Positively.
affected you? Okay, tell me.
Positively. So, well, in general, like with him, because he is a comic and he loves it and has a lot of love and respect for it, like he got excited when I started doing it and he was very supportive of that. Whereas with my adult stuff, he was supportive at first and then he changed his mind, said he couldn't handle it, ghosted me, wouldn't talk to me, and then called me randomly and said he was okay with it again. And then we were good for a bit. And then our most recent fight was over me doing adult again, and we haven't talked since then. So, but he loves the comedy stuff, and if that ever were to take off for me, he would be so happy and so supportive of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's always confusing when someone says that they're into something or accepting of something and then that changes.
Well, with adult, it's affected my love life, not just with this person, with
Sure.
a bunch of people, because people always think that they can handle what I do, and they can up until they start to get the deeper feelings. And
Okay.
then that's when jealousy comes in, insecurities come into play, the possessiveness comes into play. And it's been with so many different relationships.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
So that's caused me issues. Comedy has not yet. Has it caused you issues with dating?
Um, No. No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. Before I started stand up, I was on a very monogamous family white picket fence kind of path, and I had a couple of experiences that kind of blew that wide open for me and made me realize that that might not be something that is on the table or that I really want in the sense that I had imagined it when I was getting all that programming as a child. And so starting stand up kind of forced me to be super authentic, about what do I think and what do I believe,
Yeah.
and so it's allowed me to have more like openness. I've been able to experience my own sexuality as an extension of the art form. The art form is just an extension of me. It's my voice. It's how I like share my energy.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's sexual. And doing stand up comedy, a lot of my material is more sexual and kind of critical of men, frankly. Yeah, a lot of it's like, why did you do this to me in bed? Let's talk about it in front of this crowd. I
I
get
love that so much, though.
it's so fun. Yeah, I get that a lot. I get like an angry dude at a table while the woman sitting next to him is laughing and then like looks at him and then stops laughing. I get that a lot in the audiences. And then sometimes I watch people like have actual conversations. Like, you didn't like that.
Yeah.
And I think learning how to like speak up for myself in those kind of like intimate settings, I did by calling people out in stand up, and that's like, it's helped me find my voice in a lot of different realms.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. It's helped me find my voice too with speaking about like my life and my experiences.
Yeah.
I'm more of a storyteller comic than a punch, punch, punch like some people, but
Yeah.
like it works for me.
It
Everybody has their own voice and vibe, and you just have to find it over time as you go to different mics and shows and you write your material and you feel it out. You feel it out, and everybody's so different. I think that's the cool part about it, though. It's very eclectic. Every comic has their own unique stories and style.
Yeah. You've had such a storied life too. You know what I mean? Like, you have so much to say when you get on stage. It's like, oh, what, you know, I will say that's one place where it's been a little bit tricky. I get a little um mm, Taylor Swifty when it comes to my material, right? Because it's like I'm in the field. I'm
Yeah.
learning I'm learning all this weird stuff that people are doing, and then I'm reporting back and talking about it, which I think is valuable, but I think it also, like, anybody who longs to get close to me has some awareness of that,
Yeah.
and it's made it harder for me to bridge the gap between, like, I can't like date fans, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've dated somebody who was a fan of my other work before.
How was that?
Well, it was weird because of the fact that he was a fan of my adult stuff and started tweeting jokes at me, but he was also a star back in the day and
Oh,
stuff. So he was also entertainment, but he was in the mainstream CW Disney World. I'll
okay.
tell you after this. I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah, fair.
But he was the same age as me. So it was one of those things where it's like we both knew each other's work
Yeah, okay,
in
okay.
different ways. And he was hitting on me, and I was living in LA at the time. That was like 2015 ish. So a while back. But Yeah, so I gave him a chance and we both like fell hardcore for each other.
Oh,
But we were both very young, immature 23-year-olds. And then we would like subtweet each other and like publicly start fights with each other, like because we
oh,
would get jealous and have other issues. And it was very immature. We
yeah,
both were. We were kids. I feel like if we would have started at a later time in life, it might have gone well. But yeah,
yeah.
that was a little toxic.
What year was it?
2015.
That was like a year of toxic. That was a toxic year. Okay.
I was 23 years old and I was a shit show. I've matured a lot since then. I'm not perfect. I still have some issues, but when you're in your 30s, it's a lot better than being in your 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. And we didn't understand the role of like how we process trauma and like what we need as
Yeah.
human beings
And
until
you're new to drinking and doing other things, so you overdo it and get emotional and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've grown up since then. But have you ever dated a fan? Have you had experiences in that area?
No. No. I've definitely had I've definitely had associations with other comedians, I think in a very like artsy community kind of way.
Mhm.
Um but people who are fans, I it like pedestalize me too quickly. I can feel it and it's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you don't you saw this thing that I did and you saw me be so open and communicative because I've curated that on purpose. It's not actually something that I can bring into a one-on-one setting as easily as some people would assume, you
Yeah.
know? So
It's a
it's
little
like
bit easier on stage.
I've had a couple of people that are just like, "You're so," they are telling me how cool I am. And I have a
Mhm.
hard time receiving compliments. And so, when you have that dynamic of somebody has met me by
They
watching
could
me do
also
my
just
art.
be a cheerleader too, because
Yeah.
like I get really supportive and cheery when I date other creators. I'm like, yeah, I'm your biggest fan. I love you, baby. Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I cheer them on like a drunk dude at a football game.
That's great. That's great. See, I feel like I've always been more supportive and I struggled to be supported. And
Hmm.
that's the whole thing. That's a next chapter, That's some stuff I'm working on.
I think a lot of people have a hard time with that though.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to receive than give sometimes.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
It is.
I will say it can be weird though, like dating people sometimes, when you are put on pedestals or other things.
Yeah.
Or like even with comedy, like I brought a date to one of my comedy shows last year and it was one of my first paying gigs. And the date, like afterwards, it was like, oh, can we take some selfies together? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we took normal ones and I thought he put his phone away. And then later I found out he took secret ones of when he was kissing me.
Oh my God. What a dick. What?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to swear on this? What a.
It was so weird. So after that, I friend zoned him because that was like our second date. We didn't even go past kissing, like no sex or intimacy yet. And I was like, yeah, I'm not progressing this. One, I'm not a famous comic yet. Two, it's disrespectful to take secret photos of me. And like, it's creepy. It's weird. It's like, that's the type of thing that you have to watch out for when you're the entertainment industry in general.
Yeah. And that's just an immediate disqualification.
Yeah. It's like I need to at least be aware of photos being taken of me.
Yeah.
And if
No.
you're going to do this just kissing publicly at a comedy club right after my set and my show, then what are you going to do if we're in a more private setting?
Yeah. Yeah. That's icky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard pass. Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Gross.
Have you ever had anybody do weird stuff like that yet?
I've definitely had people, so like I don't like being recorded in any capacity, especially if it's a joke that I'm trying to work on, because if it gets published at like half
Mhm.
capacity, then it takes the wind out of its sails for when I have it finished. So anytime I see a camera, I do get nervous. Now I'm at a point in my career where it doesn't bother me as much, and I know anything that ends up online that is burned for an evening, I can rewrite more stuff. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to.
Yeah.
um, I used to really get pissed about people like recording comedy shows because one time I was doing a show and I got the light. It was someone taking a picture.
Oh.
They didn't realize their flash was on. And so I cut my set like several minutes early and it was like a short set. And this was a higher stakes show early in my career, right? Before I could
Yeah.
differentiate the light from getting a picture taken.
Well, it's also
But
because different venues, like sometimes they'll use your cell phone for the light.
yeah, yeah,
So taking a picture can really give somebody that little thought process of oh shit, I gotta wrap it up.
there it is. Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I get really sensitive about it, but I've not had anybody take anything like too unsolicited, I think, that I know of. I did fall asleep on a bus and I woke up to some guy taking a bunch of pictures of me, but that
That's creepy.
had nothing to do with comedy. Yeah, no. I've had a lot of pictures taken of me, but not on purpose for comedy to be a creep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the comedy thing, the
Yeah.
only time I had that weird experience was literally my date.
That's so freaking weird.
I'm still friends with the person, but it's just one of those things I'm like, yeah, I can't see this going any further because it weirded me out.
Yeah. I had a person recently um met at a show, right? And
Yeah.
and this was like a bunch of shows I was producing. And so I was like in heavy work mode. And I wasn't even in like joke telling work mode. This is like a different level of serious. And we were talking and kind of hitting it off. And he came to a couple more shows and we exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot. I think.
Really?
Well, okay. Listen, I'm about to put him on blast a little bit, but I'm not going to use his name. Okay, because
Yeah.
it actually really bothered me. I I gave him my number at the perfect spot to say goodbye. Right? There's like a little bit. Maybe there's a
And then
little
he wanted to keep
chemistry.
talking.
He hung out. I was like, "This is so great. Good to see you." Hand him my phone so he can put his contact information in because I'd seen him for more than one night. Like he'd shown up
Yeah.
and like proven to be
So
like an
you
okay.
felt like,
I was like, this guy gets it. And I was like, he'll take the number and he'll leave. But he ended up hanging out with like the whole group of friends and comedians that I was with. And I was like, oh, this guy thinks he's just following a woman to like, maybe try and smash. But what it was for me was like effectively a business meeting where I just finished this big project and wanted to socialize with just the team I'd finished it with. And we had just this guy that wanted to hook up with me real
linger.
bad, lingering with this gross energy. And I just could not figure out how to tell him to F off. So I'm working on that. I'm working on that this year to get out of that situation because he followed me to 4 different venues.
Oh, that's really creepy.
Like really couldn't take the hint.
Sometimes you just gotta be direct and say, it was great meeting you. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Goodbye. That's good. Yeah, I got to practice that. Maybe
Oh,
we can
I'm
do some
good
drills
at-
later.
I'm good at that. I'm good at being like, I don't like you.
Well, yeah, because you have to like cut the meetings short when you do like a meet and greet setting, right? You get
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It's like, how do you get out of this situation with
You say, I'll see you later. I have other things I need to do. I need some space. There's ways to say it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. See, now if I'm like, oh, I wish I had an instant replay because I feel like I tried. I feel like I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go do this now. I'm going to go do this now. And I think-
People don't always get hints. Sometimes you have to be like, hey, I need to do things without you.
yeah. Yeah.
You have to be direct. And even if it's mean, I know it's terrible. I don't care about being mean to people. If I'm not feeling it, I can be really mean.
I think what we've been conditioned to believe is mean though is sometimes just saying a clear sentence.
Oh, I'm very direct. I especially if I'm drinking. If
Okay.
I'm drinking, I'll straight up tell somebody to their face that I don't like them and to go away. Oh, or another good example, I went to see Keep Flying Band and a couple other bands that opened for them. And one of the other bands that opened for them, I had already drank a few drinks, but I was over at the merch stand and I asked if the one dude was single and stuff, and I was hitting on him, and he was not. I was like, that's a bummer because you're the only attractive person here. And I said that like right in front of all of his other bandmates. I didn't care. I'm just an ass. I'm like, you're the only good looking one in the band. Everybody else is ugly. I straight up said it. I don't care.
I think worse things have been said, right?
Yeah, but they were laughing. They were like, did she really just say we're all ugly? They were just standing there like, thanks.
Brutal day for them. Yeah.
Very brutal. So, do you have any upcoming shows or projects that you'd like to promote or shout out?
I'll just say my website is ninadavis.space and my
Yeah.
Instagram is daviskamenina. I have a couple of shows at the end of the month. I'm going to be in Wyoming, and then the Black Buzzard in Denver, and a couple of other things. I'm out and about. I'm trying to get more
Yeah.
stuff. I'm trying to do a little more. So.
I mean, you do a lot. I always see you at comedy things. You're killing it. You're
Thank you.
doing good.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, if you guys would like to follow Nina's careers, go to her website, follow her on Instagram, and I'm going to have you sign the wall and then we'll sign off.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Pink or purple? I think pink is so fun.
I
But
think
I've
it's
been-
pretty and nobody's done it yet.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you for
Perfect.
having me.
Anytime. Thank you for tuning into the Come and Giggle podcast. I'm Nikki Huntsman. I'm going to make like a banana and split. We'll see you later.
Bye. I don't know if I was supposed to say goodbye there.
You're good.